Welcome everybody back to Create Merge. Today we're doing a little tutorial on crop harvesters, or trying to make a crop harvester. Now I'm a bit rusty with this specific type of thing, but I want to get more into it and do more trains and things like that, because I never got the chance actually to do it in my previous worlds. So let's have a look here. What have we got? Okay, so basically you've got a machine that you build up that harvests, as you can see here, all the crops automatically. So let's say you want a very big field, bigger than this even. It can be 200-300 blocks wide or whatever the case may be. And then this will come around and harvest the crops. Now you can do this with any crop that you basically plant like this. Wheat, carrots, potatoes, whatever. The only difference is with some of the crops you're obviously going to need water. So all you need to do is plan your patch of dirt accordingly. So let's say, let me give me another block here quickly. What's something, let's just take that. Let's say this is now the water. Okay, now usually you can put a bucket of water for a piece of cropland for a 9x9 blocks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, let's go to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so then there's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there. So this little area, this 9x9, that would be your water. So you would have to build your area where you want to plant your crops, like this over here. So let's say you would have a water in there, and then a water over there, then there. Then you can grow your crops like your wheat and your potatoes and things like that. Things that you have to actually harvest. I'm going to explain this a bit easier. Where's the plow? Yeah, you would take your hoe like this, and you would plow the ground. Okay, then you put water over there to keep that fresh. Otherwise this turns back to normal dirt. Now that is what I'm talking about. But obviously now with the berries and things I'm using here, you don't need water, you just stick it down and it grows. Now you can see this harvester will go around wherever you put your tracks, which I'll show you now guys at the bottom over here, and it will just collect it. And you can see it comes here, you make a little drop off station, and then it drops all your crops into a storage or vault, or whichever way you want to do it. And you can see it's very simple. Yeah, we just got the chute, the funnel sticking over there, so that comes, and then your portable storage interface. Now the important thing is obviously you need to glue all of this together. So if we head down to the bottom, see, we got this guy over here. Let's see, can we you've got a conductor here busy driving the train. So this is basically a train, simple train interface. So you'll build your train, and then that hooks up to that machine we built over there. And it's just a bunch of blocks glued together. That's all. The most important thing is this section here with the harvesters that are down there. So let's see, where is my, I don't have harvesters on me here quickly. Harvester, where are you? There you are. There, mechanical harvester. That's the most important thing. If you've got that glued together with a storage system, then it will work. So I've just set it so that this guy will just now ride in the circle. He stops here. I like to have like an extra little station just for the fun of it. But you can make it so he just goes around and then stops there and then goes around in the same spot. But you might have an area with a barn house or another house there, and there's mountains of buildings, and you want him to move in between it. You can set it up so that the rails, as you can see down there, that goes to where you want it to move. So wherever that train moves, that top machine moves. But obviously you need to go underground and build a tunnel passageway where these rails go. And it's not too big. So you can see you need this, basically this area with where the rails will go. And that this glass here, this here will move through any blocks while this is moving. But as soon as you stop it, then obviously it will take out whatever block there is. So let's do a quick little build here. If I can remember now how. I'm a little bit on the rusty side of this, as I said. First of all, let's get this out here. Now, a conductor, all you need... Oh, no, I don't want to put the hat on. I want to do that. Okay, all you need for a conductor is your andesite casing. You get a cap, conductor's cap, and then click on it, and then there's your conductor ready to go. Now, to make a train station, first we need to... Obviously, you're going to craft your train station. Let's quickly get out of this. What is it? I can't actually remember. What is the train station recipe again? There we go. Yeah, you can see it's easy. So we need a compass and train casing, which is basically just the brass with a sturdy sheet, which is from metal and things like that. But once you've crafted everything you need, you just place your target over there and place your train station there, and that's it. Your train is set up, and then you can go in and then assemble your train and things like that. Now we're going to create a new train, so we click on that. Okay, now it's on set for create a new train. We need a train casing, which you're gonna just click it on like that. So now you can see this pops up here, but this is for when you make carriages. So if you click on there, it's going to make a train carriage which connects to this, but we don't need that at this time. We just need the single thing over there, so we can get rid of that. And take that. We need the glue. We don't need the tracks. We need the glass. Okay, now the important thing is we need to add train controls. So we just add another block like that. We're going to put some controls there. And then this, we're going to build all the way up to that. Okay, and then you can see now that's where it's going to come out. So now you need to plan as well where you plant your crops. Because obviously depending on how big your harvester is, you need to cover the area where it's collecting. So you can see there, mine's about 7 blocks wide more or less. So you can see where the train track is there. So the center is about over there. I'll take that out. Now you can see there's the center. So you've got to plant according to how wide and where this thing turns and go around everywhere. So if you see now, you see where it turns and it basically touches all the crops. It's going around there, and then it stays again. You can see there's the track in the center again. So you've got to remember to plan that ahead. You've got to match up the center of your track. There's the center of your track where this thing is running over there with whatever's on top. Okay, now, okay, so there we got our conductor. So you can wait there a second. Now this is all going to get glued together. Very important. So this, we're going to go up and glue that to that. Then we need to glue this together and then glue that together. And then obviously we need a seat. Where's my seat? Seat. Do I have a seat? Yeah, there we go. We take a seat. And we're going to stick that on there and then glue that on there as well. And that's it. There's your train. Now all we're going to do is get the conductor in there. But we're going to make a schedule. But first let's build our train machine here. So we don't need any of this. Now we're going to keep this very simple. So I take that and we need a vault. We need our... What did I do with my... Oh, there's the harvester there. We can... let's just grab some of that. Now I'm not going to make this too fancy now. Okay, obviously the front of the train is where the controls are. So this is the front. So this is the direction that he's going to go into. So we need to plant... Okay, we'll make this 5 wide. Stick on some harvesters there. And we make this very simple. So 1, 2, like that. Put on a vault. Do that, and then you can stick that like that. Now, obviously, you want to do this however you want it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, boom. Okay, and that's it. That's basically all you need. You've got a harvester. Now, obviously, you want to try and make this look a little bit better. So, where's my portable storage? Now, depending on where your storage is going to be, we can stick this like that. Okay, got that like that. And that's it. That's it. If you want to make it look like a proper harvester. Now, I'm not very good with building these harvesters, but there you can put some wheels on and make it look more like a vehicle. So let's say, okay, let's do this. We'll add on a wheel there and a wheel there. Okay, obviously it's not always going to touch the ground, but we can add in a little bit more space maybe on the side here. Let's do it like that, and then add that like that. You can get rid of that, put it in there, just to give it a little bit more feeling. Okay, and that's it. And you can decorate this however you need it. You can put a seat up there, and you can what do you call it? Now once you want to AFK maybe at the farm, you can sit in the seat over there, or even there where the conductor's sitting as well. And then you can just go around in a circle AFK if you want and collect your crops, whatever the case may be. But now the important thing is not how it looks. You can just have the vault on here if you want, just with these couple of blocks in your harvesters. However big you want it, you can build this out however wide. But just remember, the wider it goes, the more you need to adjust your track and where you plant your crops and all that. So I would try and stick no wider than 9 blocks, because that's basically the size of a of cropland. You remember this, 9 blocks. So I wouldn't make it wider than this, because then you're going to have more water, more things. So at the moment, all we need here is water down every 9 blocks in the center of this track here, in order to facilitate any crops that you need. But remember, you're going to have to put a block or something underneath there to keep that water in when you do use water. But you can have a mix of crops as well, so choice is yours. Now, this doesn't look like much, but the important part is we've got the harvesters, and they've got to glue everything together. So we've got to glue that to that. We need to stick that to there, stick this onto that. The important thing is that block needs to get stuck onto there. We're going to stick this together like so. That must get stuck onto that. So we got all the wheels. We're going to stick that onto that, and the last is that thing. Okay, I'm not going to do the seat. So, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Get rid of the seat. Let's just glue that again. Okay, so now everything is glued on. Okay, that's all there. That is glued on to that. That's the most important thing, is that thing there that goes down must get glued onto this. That holds everything together. I think I didn't glue this thing, so this must get glued on to there. Okay, and that's everything. So the wheels are glued, storage thing is glued, that's glued onto that. This is all glued together onto that. And that's it. That's everything. Okay, now let's see if we can do a little thing here. We're gonna make this. Come on. I'm just doing this roughly now. I'm not exactly planning this out as much. Okay, so now you've got a track set up. Everything is glued together, except we need a storage thing over here, so we can get rid of this and that. Don't need any of this. Need a funnel. So we stick a funnel on there. stick that like that, and then just do your storage however you need it. Okay, so then we've got a storage, and your crops will basically just obviously be now down wherever you want it, going like that. Okay, now we need a train schedule. Okay, what we want to do is add hold on, no, let's first assemble train. Before I forget, we need to assemble it. There's DSM. Close that. Okay, now the train's assembled. So this thing should move once we set up this thing. Now I want to rename this, so let's call this test 1. Okay, and we go click, and then we're gonna take this, add action, and then we need to where you know, do that there. Now you'll see when you set up any trains, it's going to show you all the train places. Now we only want test 1. Okay, so yes, and we want to wait, let's say, well, do 10 seconds for now. You, mister, I'll try and see if I can remember to do this. I always have trouble getting this thing right. I'm going to click. See, now I'm clicking on the... Oh my gosh. Okay, well, first, before I forget, we need to deassemble the train. And then pick this guy up. Click him in there. Okay, give him a train schedule. Let's see, test that, and that. And obviously want to loop this thing. So it's just going to go in a loop. See, that's why I like putting in 2 stations, because sometimes this thing just doesn't want to do what it must do. So we stick another one in there, do that. Let's change this to test 2. Okay, do that there. Then we go back to him. And we're going to set this to the second station, do that, and we can add this to a 5-second delay there, and that should be fine. Okay, now you should work. Okay, as I said, I'm very rusty with this. There we go, now it's working. So now you'll go around. I think you should actually have 2 stations. So you can see there, everything is moving, except why do I have dirt in there? Did I glue dirt on? Why did I glue dirt on there? Okay, just be careful what you glue, because it seems I glued some of that dirt onto the thing over there. But that's all you need. And then you can just build, obviously, this up. You can add blocks around it to make it look a bit nicer. Maybe a bit better than what I did over here. But that is the basic principle of building these things, and I would suggest making 2 stations so that it can stop, because it seems to be somewhere conflicting. But guys, that is that's it. You have, and I've got a cap on my head. That is your crop harvester. So, hope you guys enjoy building one, and I will see you again in a next episode. Cheers.